The White House is defending its mass deportation policy this morning after sending alleged gang members out of the country, despite a judge blocking their removal. Hundreds of illegal immigrants are in detention in El Salvador this morning, alleged to be part of the violent Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang. The White House says those deportation flights were in the air and over international waters when the judge made that ruling. NewsNation's Robert Sherman has the latest for us with this really stunning story, Robert. I mean, the president also invoking a law from the 1700s in order to remove those migrants.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Markie. And this morning, the president is pressing forward with his vow to secure the border and crack down on illegal immigration. This is video from the president of El Salvador showing the arrival and deboarding of these flights in El Salvador, which he says 238 members of the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang are now in their custody. But it didn't get to this point without some legal hurdles. The president invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to make the removals happen. An act that allows the president to remove non-citizen invaders from the country. D.C. federal judge James Boasberg temporarily blocked the move and appeared to verbally order any planes in the air to be turned around. The White House's position is that the planes were already gone and out of U.S. airspace, so the ruling was not applicable, and the planes went ahead and landed in El Salvador. The president was asked about exercising the Alien Enemies Act, which has been seldom used throughout U.S. history and only in times of war. This was his response.
Well, this is a time of war because Biden allowed millions of people, many of them criminals, many of them at the highest level. They emptied jails out. Other nations emptied their jails into the United States. That's an invasion. And these are criminals, many, many criminals, murderers, drug dealers at the highest level, drug lords, people from mental institutions. That's an invasion. They invaded our country.
This was a statement that was put out by the president of El Salvador. He praised the move, saying, quote, "As always, we continue advancing in the fight against organized crime, but this time we are also helping our allies, making our prison system self-sustainable and obtaining vital intelligence to make our country an even safer place, all in a single action." And in a separate post, in response to the news a judge had blocked the removals, the president of El Salvador simply wrote, "Too late." Markie?
Yeah, Robert, I have legal analysts on throughout the show about this. Is this a time of war? Who has more power here, that judge, versus the president? We'll see what their 2 cents are. But where does this legal fight go from here?
Well, I mean, there seems to be widespread acknowledgement that there is going to be a bigger conversation to have in the court of law, right? And the ACLU is the one who brought this challenge initially, contending that the people who you saw there did not get their due process. The White House's position under this act from 1798 is that they were invaders and that they believe that they have the legal ground here. Bottom line is that both sides anticipate there's going to be a day in court, and they're prepared to have that fight. Markie?
All right, we'll be watching closely. Robert Sherman, thank you so much from D.C.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.